kill flows, Nintendo Switch. I'm on some shit that's monumental, magical, artificial intelligence. Jotted down on scribes, the last of a dying breed. They wonder how I survived. Turpentine, turn the tide, go.
What's going on, everyone? This is your boy AshTheMan, and welcome to the video. So in this video we are going to be covering Megalo Nomad review. So before I go ahead and get started, of course it's going to be some spoilers. I'm going to be talking about things that happen beyond just the intro and the story, so please do hit that pause button and check it out if you're interested in watching this, and then come back to the video so we can all discuss this awesome season. So yeah, just like I said, Megalo Nomad review. Now, Megalo Nomad exceeded my expectations this season. I was overwhelmed and excited for this anime. Like, I didn't realize that I can still get geeked out over things, but hey, you surprise yourself. But this season of Megalo really left a mark on me, and it premiered April 4th, 2021. So yeah, man, the spring has some nice hitters. So you can watch this on either Crunchyroll or Funimation, whichever you prefer. Hey, go ahead and knock your boots off. But nevertheless, let's go ahead and get started. Now, it's been 7 years since we last seen Joe, and he won the tournament against Yuri, which again, Megalo one of my biggest gripe. And it's not just with the anime, it's just I want to see that fight between Joe and Yuri. Maybe do like some type of special OVA movie or something, because I want round for round. I want to see the sweat and everything going down, because that was season 1's build up and we still haven't got it. So I am definitely going to be still complaining about this. But what happened in the 7 years? Joe has been fighting in underground matches going by Nomad. He's been taking pills, drinking a lot, which it seems like he's been having some crazy side effects. Now, from him doing this, he has like a low profiling. That's why the reason why he's going this Nomad, so people don't notice that he's Girlish Joe. But with the side effects, he's having hallucinations. He's seeing Pops, him and Pops, sharing words. He meets a man named Chief while he's doing this underground fight, in which it was a stage fight, and Chief won because I guess Joe has this thing that he wasn't going to do no more fights rigged, so that he could just go with this all, even though that he's taking painkillers. Now, he wasn't happy with this, and but this is after what happened 7 years ago. So what's going on here? So going with the story, Joe has been boxing in this underground thing ever since he left and abandoned the children. Now, in the course of this, one of the reasons that really set this up is that Pops is no longer with them. He passed away. I'm guessing he had cancer, for what it seemed like, and due to all the fighting and everything he was doing with it, it was his time. Now, I do know that Joe wanted to do one last fight, because I know there was some scenes with him coming in trying to still get Pop's support. Pop's pretty much told him, like, man, you ain't never gonna let me rest. Been doing this to the day I die. And he gave us his blessings for Joe to fight, but there was a lot of disagreements between him and Sachiro about Joe fighting at the time of need of Pops. However, he did come up short against Lou, which Lou is Yuri's new apprentice, because if you've seen the last episode last season, Yuri was stuck to a chair. Maybe it's due to the kind of like gear that he had, pulling it out of nerves and everything, and that fight just didn't help. But after Pop's passed, there was some altercations. Jeff left with abandoning the kids, in which when he left, he went with the whole Nomad and everything. Now again, with him meeting Chief, him, winning that fight against Chief by Chief throwing the match, he ended up being involved with this community of which Chief is from, trying to raise enough money to buy the community. So Joe decides to help Chief so that he could be able to win the Megalo tournament and being able to purchase the land. Now, through hardships, Chief did win and everything, and definitely left a mark on Joe. But after he won later that day, he passed away. He had too many headshots that happened within that fight, and he didn't seek any medical help. It doesn't seem like he went and tried to get himself checked out, because he was just like, as soon as he went to sleep, it was over. So with that motivation and the mark that Chief left on Joe, Joe decided to face his demons and return to his hometown, where he was greeted with rejectment and resentment. He wanted to correct his wrongs and live his life to the fullest, in which was facing the children that he left abandoned, especially Sechio, since Sechio started to do his own little underground boxing thing. So, how did the season fare up? So, the story and the plot. This season did a great job with pushing forward in Joe's journey with redemption, giving him hope with this interactions with Chief. Definitely did play a big part. I mean, he had to have some reason to return, and I mean the way that they set up Pop with his community, and seeing that how Jeff left the mark on the people, which in turn they left a mark on him, and which gave him the courage to return. That was really a great narrative that they did with that, because man, like, I was all in. I was like, Joe, you doing your thing. But when Joe left, the children and those around him hated Joe, and the decision especially came when it came to Pops, in a way that he still chose to fight instead of being near Pops. Joe only knew how to do things in his way and only way he understands. And the story really exploits that, and he actually really do go through a series of redemption. So the story is A+ in my book. It really does, capture what the story that they was telling of Joe's redemption. Now, character development was great. I was honestly surprised within 12 to 13 episodes they was able to still give everybody screen time to be able to focus on certain narratives about the person, to get to understand them and everything. Nobody felt rushed, and shockingly it was real good. You can't go wrong with that. That is high quality character development, people, and Megalobox did it. Now, sound quality was great too. And one thing I will grant them is that they went with with the whole like Spanish theme, with the guitar and everything, the sad blues that they be doing, and it worked. It really worked for the series. I mean, at times they played it when it was necessary. It basically had its hype moments, but it really set the narrative. If they didn't have this, I don't think this season would have worked out too well to really exploit what they was really trying to get us going, because you may not pay attention, but sound really does make a difference in how somebody may feel about certain things, and to captivate that with what we are seeing is just astounding. So they did great. Now the visuals reminded me of the first season of Megalobox, and again, the visuals is nothing to really be impressed about. I mean, yeah, it still did as good, but it's just still like, there could have been some way of updating it, still capturing the surroundings and everything, but for the most part, it did what was necessary. So overall, Megalobox was awesome. The experience I got with this was not just only looking for a boxing match, but it was the development within the world of Megalobox, which I got, and I will score it a 9.5 out of 10. It deserves that. Like, again, it deserves that rating. They really did their job. So again, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in for this. If you haven't seen Megalobox Nomad or even the first season, you need to watch both of them. Go ahead and do so. Let this be a reference that Megalobox was awesome, both seasons. Of course, the first season was amazing. Discontinue with it, would added some things, some juice, some transitions in it that just like really exploited out. So yeah, go and have you some fun. Again, it's the summertime. Get your anime on. Anything you need to catch up on, get your anime on. But other than that, I just want to thank you guys again for tuning into this video. Again, the road to 500 subs is here. Let's go ahead and do so. Look out for your boy. Other than that, you guys have a blessed night. Thank you. Goodbye.